Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Now, before we start off, first of all, I want to say some things like my mic quality. If it has been seemingly getting worse, that's probably because I've been having trouble exporting the videos, so yeah. Also, another thing is I haven't been uploading a lot lately because I don't have a lot of motivation at the moment, but don't worry, daily uploads are coming back, so you can look forward to that. Well, hopefully at least. But with that, I don't want to waste your time too much. Please like and subscribe. We're getting very close to 700 subscribers, and with that, let's get right into this video. So last time we left off, Naruto and the rest of Team 7 were just heading off to the bell test, at least from what I remember. Everyone ended up arriving there right on time, around 7, except for Naruto, because he knew that Kakashi was going to be late, so he decided, you know what, yeah, I'll just be late as well. So he came like about an hour late, and Kakashi came about an hour later than him. So, Naruto came at around 8 a.m., and Kakashi came at like 9 a.m. And once again, everyone was about to ask Kakashi why it was so late, but they couldn't even be bothered, as Kakashi introduced the bell test, saying how he had 2 bells, and what they had to do was to get the bells from him. It was that simple. Now, Sakura did immediately go ahead and point out that there were only 2 bells, so one person would have to get out if this was to work. And Kakashi says, yeah, exactly. One person's gonna go out. And Sakura's just like, whoa, I feel like, out of Naruto and Sasuke, I feel like I'm gonna be the one going out. As she's kind of like, wait, am I gonna become a Genin again? I mean, not just, am I gonna be demoted? Because they're already Genin, right? Anyways, so Kakashi's just like, go, come on, go. And Naruto's like, okay. And Naruto heads off into the forest. Now, immediately from the forest, he starts scouting out the area, seeing what he could possibly do. And then he thinks, oh, well, I've got an idea. And just so they can pass the test the way they're supposed to, he does tell Sakura and Sasuke that this is obviously about teamwork and that they should work together. And then, still, Naruto's gonna be the one to get the bells, and Sakura and Sasuke are very hesitant about this, and, aren't really like, you're gonna get the bells? I'm not sure about that. And Naruto's like, okay, then you two can get the bells, which is obviously a lie, but, he has to do it for them to cooperate. And then they're like, you know what, okay, if you're that confident, let's go for it. And with that, all of them rush in at the same time, coming from opposite corners. Now, Sasuke and Naruto both run in at Kakashi, with them starting to do taijutsu and everything. And this is actually like going pretty well, since Sasuke and Naruto have trained together before, so they're actually really good at fighting together. And, they've got good chemistry, they've got good teamwork, it just all works out. So they're actually pretty strong, pretty decent against Kakashi, and they start having a heated taijutsu battle. Meanwhile, Sakura is just on the sidelines, just trying to grab the bells at any open chance, which isn't really working out too well, but it's what it is, as Naruto comes in from behind Kakashi and manages to hit Kakashi on the back. Now Kakashi's just like, wow, that was actually a really weak hit. What, like, come on, what did he just do? That was a really weak hit. It didn't hit me that hard. And Naruto's like, Whew, okay. As Kakashi is like, turns around and he's like, what do you mean, okay? And Naruto's like, Sasuke, now! As Sasuke starts weaving hand signs, it says, Fireball Jutsu, sending a huge fireball jutsu towards Kakashi, as Kakashi creates a mud wall, blocking the jutsu. But then, Naruto teleports to the flying Raijin mark that he placed on Kakashi, because that's what the hit was. Instead of hitting Kakashi, he placed a flying Raijin seal on him, and teleporting to the flying Raijin seal, Naruto pops up from the other side, and swings his arm at the bells, but he misses. Kakashi is barely able to Sorry guys, the footage just keeps cutting out. I'm telling you, there are problems with the recording. But anyways, back to the story. So Kakashi barely manages to dodge out of the way, and Naruto touches the bells but doesn't manage to get them. This is when Naruto says, well, that's all I needed. As Naruto points his hand out at the bells, and suddenly the bells come back towards him from out of, just levitate towards Naruto, and Naruto takes the bells in his hand. And Kakashi's like, wait, was that? And Naruto's like, yeah. You see, when I touch something, I can bring it back in time. And Kakashi's like, wow, that must be it. And Naruto, now you guys might be wondering, wait, he can bring time back, things back in time if he touches something? And yeah, that is true. But you guys are gonna be like, wait a second, but what about when he sent Minato and Kushina back in time, right? Well, the thing is, Minato touched Naruto when he saved him from Obito, and Kushina touched Naruto when, Naruto was born. So Naruto had touched both Kushina and Minato, so it does all make sense with the, backstory and how Naruto sent them back through time. And so that's kind of how his ability works. For now, you guys have no idea what's coming next. He has some crazy abilities. Because remember, he can warp time. A lot crazier than just going back in time. But anyways, on with the story. Kakashi's like, well, I guess you pass. After all, this was all about teamwork, blah, blah, blah. But, Naruto, you got the bells anyways, so I guess I can't say much. And Naruto just gave a look at Sasuke and Sakura, being like, see, I told you. And they're like, well, I mean, we never said we didn't trust you. We just said we weren't going to risk it. And Naruto's like, okay, you do you. Anyways, after that, Team 7 became an official team and started going on D-rank missions, such as, catching cats, helping women with, just villagers with their groceries, helping, just doing a bunch of very boring D-rank missions, right? Now, this goes on for a while until Naruto goes to Hiruzen's office and demands a harder mission. Hiruzen, oh god. This is what happens whenever I try to change anything in the plot, right? I replace Sakura with Nezuko in my Tanjiro What If, and I keep calling Nezuko Sakura, and I keep forgetting it. This happens every single time. Anyways, they go to Minato's office because Minato is the Hokage, and Naruto asks for a more difficult mission. Now, Minato, both knowing how capable Kakashi and Naruto is, he would obviously let them, right? And he would say, yeah, there's a C-rank escort mission where you can escort Tazuna to the Land of Waves. And hearing this, Naruto and Team 7 would be like, yeah, that works. And so the next day, they would all meet up at the gate and head off to the Land of the Waves. Now, along the way, they would come across a puddle. And Naruto, unlike in the original, being actually smart, because Kushina makes him study a lot, of course, and Minato, of course, Minato's also smart, he notices the puddle, being like, this doesn't seem right. as he takes out one of his kunai, not the flying Raijin one, but just a kunai, and throws it. Actually, no, his flying Raijin kunai, right? Sorry. His flying Raijin kunai takes it out, throwing it straight at the puddle. Now, the kunai hits one of the demon brothers in the shoulder as they both pop out and suddenly just go straight to attack Naruto. And Naruto just stands there calmly being like, I knew it. And Naruto teleports to the flying Raijin mark. And, the kunai being lodged onto one of the demon brother's shoulders, he just teleports to it, grabs it, touches the demon brother, and uses his time warp ability to send him back through time into his genjutsu puddle, while Naruto uses his, pulls the flying Raijin kunai out of his shoulder and uses the kunai to slice the throat of the other demon brother, killing him. And then Naruto goes back at the demon brother, who's now sent back in time to when he was still in the puddle. And, he's like, what just happened? And, this guy teleported, then did some sort of weird time manipulation thing, and he killed my brother, and now he's about to kill me. So he jumps back out as one last hope. And Naruto just throws the kunai at him, and he dodges. But this was Naruto's plan all along. So he just teleports to the kunai and starts charging a blue orb in his hand as he says, Rasengan! And turns around, slamming it into the demon brother's back, completely knocking him out. And yes, he does know the Rasengan, because, he has been living with Minato and training with Jiraiya. Do you not expect him to learn the Rasengan at this point? Come on. But yeah, that is the demon brothers completely obliterated, right? Naruto is not someone to be messed with, since he is already Chunin/Jonin level at this age. Because, when you're being trained by the Hokage and a Sannin and one of the strongest Jonin who will become the Hokage in the future, aka Kakashi, being trained by Shisui, you tend to get pretty strong, especially if you also have a time warp ability. You get what I mean? Do you understand what I mean? But they keep heading on, and suddenly a huge thick mist starts rolling in. Now, of course, Zabuza comes in being like, this is the hidden mist village. I don't know what you're expecting. This is where you'll find the mist. It's pretty normal around here. And Naruto and Team 7 are like, yeah, that makes sense. But this is when Kakashi senses a huge blade flying overhead as he says, duck, and everyone ducks as the huge blade lands on the tree and Zabuza Momochi lands on it. Now Naruto seeing this is like, Zabuza Momochi, under his breath, and Kakashi's like, looks like Naruto's been keeping up, checking his bingo book. And Naruto's like, I know this guy. He's the Demon of the Mist, one of the 7 deadly swordsmen. And Naruto, Kakashi's just like, okay, leave him to me. And with that, Kakashi and Zabuza start fighting, and everything goes just like in the original, with Kakashi getting stuck in the water prison, and then Naruto and Sasuke do the exact same thing with the Demon Wind Shurikens, with Naruto popping out of his Demon Wind Shuriken transformation and turning around to kick Zabuza in the back. Now, this is when Zabuza has to release the water prison jutsu from being kicked in the back like that, and Naruto lands on the water walking, of course, because Naruto knows that, and Kakashi swiftly finishes Zabuza off using a water dragon jutsu. Then Naruto, knowing that Zabuza probably isn't dead yet, runs in and tries to kill Zabuza with his flying Raijin kunai, but Haku interferes, saying that he's attracting Mist Ninja, and takes Zabuza so quickly that Team 7 doesn't even have time to question him. This is when Kakashi normally would have passed out from exhaustion and, chakra exhaustion, that sort of stuff. But since Minato is alive, I don't think that Kakashi would have been this, he wouldn't have been slacking off during the entire time. He would have been training his Sharingan. In fact, I bet he would, be able to use his Mangekyo Sharingan. Like, genuinely speaking, he would probably be able to use his Mangekyo Sharingan at this point. He just didn't want to use it this battle. And so with that, they head off to Tazuna's house. Now, at Tazuna's house, once again, they have their meal, they eat their stuff, whatever, they eat whatever they eat. They just eat all the food there, get some rest, and the next day, Kakashi decides to teach them water walking and tree walking to those who don't know it. Now, Sasuke knows tree walking, but not water walking, so Kakashi's going to teach him water walking, and Sakura's going to learn tree walking, and water walking if she has time afterwards. Now, Sasuke manages to learn water walking, and Sakura manages to learn tree walking. But Naruto already knew both of them, so he was doing some more advanced chakra control and meditation, and, just going into his mind space, talking with Kurama, that sort of stuff, doing stuff that would be more useful for him than learning something that he already knows. Anyways, that's just kind of how the entire time goes there, and after a bit of time, they decide to go and help Tazuna help build the bridge, and with Naruto and Team 7's help, Tazuna starts building the bridge a lot quicker. Naruto can use his Shadow Clone Jutsu to make the construction go a lot faster, and also just having more people is helpful, I guess. And Kakashi, I guess, actually no, that wouldn't be helpful, but just having more people and Naruto's Shadow Clone Jutsu would help them do the construction a lot quicker. Now, Gato would notice this increased construction working speed and order Zabuza and Haku to go kill them immediately. And so one day when Team 7 was working on the bridge, suddenly Zabuza and Haku showed up, with Kakashi being like, I knew it, I wasn't attracting Mist Ninja. And Naruto was like, why didn't you just say so? I mean, I could have just warped him back in time all the way to when he was still at the pond, and that would have been that. Like, Naruto could just, since he touched him, he could have warped him back to that area, and then they could have killed Zabuza. But Kakashi was like, oh, yeah, I forgot about that. And so Kakashi's like, wait, but you can still control him, right? Since you've touched him. And Naruto's like, yeah, I only need to touch them once. And after that one touch, I can control them through time. Well, yeah, I can basically control them through time for 10 years. And Kakashi's like, yeah, that's actually pretty impressive. So Kakashi's like, okay, well, listen, I won't need your help most likely, but try to touch both of them, and we can use your power just in case. It'll always be useful. And Naruto's like, yep, of course. Now, just so you guys know, Naruto's time warp thingy also works on objects, right? And Naruto can basically control anything for 10 years in a 10-year, how do I explain this? So, of course, Naruto can control someone he touches for 10 years. And if he controls them. You guys might be like, okay, well then why doesn't he just speed things up so the person gets really old and dies, or makes them really young and turns them into a baby? He can, but he can only make them 10 years younger or 10 years older. Also, this ability works on objects too. So if Naruto finds a rock that was, well, I don't know, just created somehow, and he warped it back through time, he could make it go back to when it wasn't created, since it was just newly created. But I don't know if you understand, but you don't have to. You'll see when he uses the ability. And you guys probably already know what he's about to do. So Kakashi decides to go fight Zabuza, and Naruto and Sasuke decide to go fight Haku. Now, during Haku and Naruto's fight, Sasuke and Haku start getting into a heated taijutsu battle. And this is going, pretty evenly until Haku decides to speed up, seeing that Naruto is about to join the fight. With that, Haku starts overpowering Sasuke, and Sasuke starts needing more help. This is exactly what Naruto is here to provide, though, and Naruto is also a lot faster than Sasuke, so he starts keeping up with Haku, as he also starts using his flying Raijin kunai, just very little, just like once, right? He uses it once and almost sliced a little bit of Haku's, arm, just a small cut on it, but couldn't do much. Now, Haku started to feel like he was starting to lose, so he decided that he had to do something. And Naruto went at Haku trying to hit him, but Haku suddenly created a bunch of ice mirrors, and Naruto and Sasuke were both trapped inside of it, saying, "Wait, what is this?" As suddenly Haku went into the mirror and then appeared in all of them, as Haku was just staring at Naruto and Sasuke through all of the mirrors. And Naruto and Sasuke were like, what the heck is this? As Sasuke uses his fireball jutsu, it doesn't work. And Haku just laughs, saying, he thought that would work. It'll take a lot more to destroy my ice mirrors. And Naruto says, yeah, well, too bad, because, I have exactly that. A lot more than, I have exactly what is required to destroy your ice mirrors. As he goes up to Haku, and Haku's just like, get away, as he starts throwing Senbon at Naruto. But Naruto starts dodging the Senbon. Although not with a lot of ease, he can do it. But he is having a lot of trouble approaching the mirrors, because the closer he gets to the mirrors, the harder it is to avoid the kunai. The Senbon. So Naruto comes up with another plan. Naruto runs up to the mirrors, just a little bit, then jumps right back to the middle, right? While at the same time, he's almost touching the mirrors, he jumps backwards while at the same time throwing his flying Raijin kunai right at the mirror. And Naruto lands right back into the center and blocks the kunai coming at him, while he teleports to his flying Raijin kunai. Unfortunately, the flying Raijin kunai isn't enough to break through the mirrors, obviously, and Haku's like, what are you trying to do? As, Haku's about to say this, as Naruto tries punching the mirror with his fist, trying to punch at least straight through it, but it doesn't work, and he gets blasted back right into the middle. Now, this is when Haku says, well, check. You're in a terrible position. There's no way you'll win. As you can see, you're stuck. Naruto says, well, that might be what you think, but it's not the truth. And Naruto lifts his hand up as suddenly his eyes once again go a pale white color as suddenly all of the mirrors start slowly but surely disintegrating into nothingness. And Haku's like, what was that power? Such an immense aura and pressure. After his eyes turned that pale white color, his hands started to glow, and it just destroyed my mirrors. Sorry guys, I had to cut the footage, but back to the video. So Naruto just looked down as this immense aura continued to like almost spiral around him, as he pointed his hand at Haku this time. And Haku started going back in time, all the way back to when Haku and Zabuza had first appeared on the bridge. And as Naruto sent Haku back in time to that position, he got Haku to the position and then displayed his newest power. As his eyes, turned this white color, the aura of this power completely exploded around him. And Haku was just shocked at this moment as Naruto pointed his palm at Haku, and then it happened. Haku completely froze in time, and Haku just couldn't move as he was like, dang it, what is this? Some sort of genjutsu? As Naruto slowly and dramatically walked towards Haku and killed him, cutting his throat with a kunai. And at this exact moment, Kakashi would be slamming his Chidori through Zabuza's chest. And with that, Zabuza and Haku would have been dealt with. But just as this happened, Gato and his men ended up arriving. And Naruto, seeing this, was slowly starting to have his aura fade away. And he was like, dang it, more people to deal with. Well, I guess it won't be much of a problem, as he activates his Shadow Clone Jutsu, creating a bunch of clones, with Kakashi doing the same. And as their clones rushed in at the mercenaries and started killing them one by one, very easily, all of the mercenaries just decided to run away. They just got back on their boats, went right back. They just all started running away. Meanwhile, Gato, being the absolute idiot he is, just continued standing there, being like, you cowards, I'll deal with them myself. But that wasn't true, because Naruto just took Gato and gave him to the villagers. And since Gato had done some terrible things to them, Naruto, just gave it to them so they could do whatever they want to Gato. And trust me, things aren't looking good for Gato. But with that, the bridge got named the Great Naruto Bridge, and Team 7 went back to the Leaf Village. Now, at the Hokage's office, Kakashi and Naruto, explained the true nature of the mission and how it was, at least B or A rank. And Zabuza, hearing about what Naruto was able to do during this mission, was very impressed and was like, cool, he's finally starting to, get a hold of his power. And with that, Minato paid them appropriately, and they all went off. Now, along the way, Kakashi stopped them and said, also, before you go, one last thing. Do you guys want to participate in the Chunin exams? And Team 7 obviously accepted. But unfortunately, this is where I'm going to be having to end off this video. If you did enjoy, please like and subscribe. We're so close to 700 subscribers, and I'm trying to reach 1,000 by the end of the year, and it would really mean a lot to me. So yeah, if you can, please do that. And with that, goodbye.